Like I said in the last video, I was going to be doing some swarm trap stuff. Just kind of show you, got some gear over there, you might say, and a little bit more over here, and then I got some more over here. So I got some stuff. So the good news is between this wall and that wall right there, when we're in like full swing June bloom and we're making honey like crazy, those walls will almost be empty. And I'll do another video hopefully around that time, come back and show you. That wall over there, all the bee equipment you see over there, that's primarily my swarm trap, nuke boxes, escape covers, escape inner covers, queen excluders, etc. Just kind of my stuff over there. So there's that. Just want to show you real quick. I use two primary boxes for swarm traps. Now, I'm not a huge fan of using full-on like 10 frame boxes. That's just too big. I will say though, I have one that's a 10 frame swarm trap, and to date, it is the largest swarm I ever caught was in that box. It was a eight frame swarm. It was absolutely huge, and I was up in the woods. So don't know what that was, but it was giant, and it was pretty awesome. So, but most of your swarms are going to be 3 to 5 frames worth of bees, give or take, depending on how big the colony is. It depends on when they swarm, if it's an after swarm, that kind of stuff. But that's why I use 6 and 8 frame boxes. And I'll just kind of show you how I got those set up real quick. So right here, I've got my 8 frame box. So I've got the inner cover blocked off there, as you can see, nailed down. I've got a hole drilled here with the little gate that slides. You can tell it's been used a few times. Super helpful. You go get your swarm checked out. You know the bees going in and out of the hole. They're carrying pollen in or whatever, so you know that there's a queen. You're good to go. And you know there's a difference obviously between scout bees and a swarm. Scout bees are kind of just flying around checking things out. When you go to your swarm trap and you look at this hole and you've got bees coming in and out, get close enough to look for pollen in their legs. If you've got pollen coming in, well, there's only one reason for that, and that's because there's a queen laying eggs, and they need pollen to feed the larvae. So if you've got pollen coming in, you've got a swarm. So what I do is I look for that. As soon as I see that, I'll go in the evening when it's dark out, all the bees are home. Very simple, just bada boom, they can't get out. And then I'll give it maybe a little tap on the side or whatever and listen for that humming sound on the inside. That way, you get your bees. So that's how I do that. This is the lid, of course. I do screw the lids down just to make sure they're sealed nice and tight, because you want this front entrance to be the only spot they can get in and out of. If they can get out of more than one spot around the side or something, that's not a fun time. Ask me how I know later. So anyway, there's that. So inside the box, you've got your 8 frames across. The 4 middle ones, I always have comb on. And again, like I said a minute ago, most of your swarms are going to be 3 to 5 frames of bees. And because they are swarming, they're going to be loaded with honey, and they're going to have an immense impulse to build comb. But they're also going to have an immense impulse to want to start getting the queen going to lay eggs immediately. So I do both. I give them a frame with some comb, a little bit of building room, frame there with some comb on it. Stuck a little bit. I don't like me very much. Let's get this one. There we go. There's that one there with some comb on it. And that's the thing about swarms also. They like this old nasty comb. You've probably heard that before. See, this is gross. They probably wouldn't even use that, but it'll give them something to do. But anyway, those are all that I've got. Those 4 with comb on it on the inside. And then the 2 on the outside here and the 2 on the outside here are going to be just blank frames. I just coat those with wax, throw them in there. So that's my 8 frame setup. Nice thing about this inner cover that when I screw that on, it overhangs a bit here, you can see. So when that's screwed down tight, that gives me a nice spot to put a rope or a ratchet strap on a tree and hang it from that, and I'm good to go. So I'll start hanging these out pretty quick and making it work. So there's that. Over here now, I've got a swarm trap, which is a 6 frame box. I did not make this one. I built this. I bought the 8 frame, I guess, to be honest with you, but this was built by an older guy. He's not around anymore building stuff, but it's super cool design. Got a hole in the screen there. You just lift the screen up like so. and then let your bees in and out. And then when you come back and you think there's bees in there, you just shut the gate. Bada boom, bada bing. Smaller and easier, a little bit to deal with than the 8-frame box. And there's 6 frames in here, so again, plenty of room for the bees. There's a lid here. You got your little inner cover of cardboard there. And you've got your 6 frames. And again, on this box, I'll put in 3 or 4 frames of comb again, and a blank and a blank. And you know, there's people that'll say sometimes, I used to actually say, because I heard people say that you only put in a few frames, leave a bunch of empty space over here so they don't feel crowded. And that's great until you open up your swarm box and realize the swarm has been in there for a couple weeks and you've got a bunch of chunks of comb hanging from your lid, and you got to deal with that. So that's not a good time. So I went to this deal here where I put frames in there that have comb and a few that don't. And I feel like that does the job to where it makes them feel like if they're going to go in there, they can go in there just fine. So that's a quick video on my swarm trap program. I'll do some follow-ups with me checking out swarm traps, where I hang them, all that kind of good stuff. Explain to you where I hang them and why I hang them in a certain spot. That should be helpful for some people, I think. But yeah, spring flows right on the season with our maples and our fruit trees. I got a mosquito bugging me. Super excited about that, and super excited to get back into bee season. So it's been 4 months off, and so far I've got about 12 colonies here on the farm that are still surviving, it looks like. I've got to check another 10 that are off-site to see how that looks. Yeah, so that's my swarm trap program. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks.